Hi there, keen traders. Let's take a look at what we have going on into the end of the week. It's been a very disappointing week just because we've had nothing transpire in the debt limit negotiations in DC, and that has held the forex markets hostage. We have seen movements left, right, left, up, down, sideways, this way, that way. But whichever way the wind blows, the next news story, we're getting a total change of pace, and that's no way to trade. And we can't get any momentum, and it's really just blowing out all the 50 fib trades. And that's why we basically remained on the sideline today, because we had a rally yesterday that was rather strong on a rumor that well, not a rumor, I guess news reports that we were about to reach the U.S. was about to reach an agreement on to extend the debt limit for 6 weeks and start the government back up. But in reality, that did not occur. And we see that you can see the pairs are just kind of drifting sideways again. And that is, it's not a normal environment to trade in. It's an artificial environment, and most traders are remaining sideways. And that's why we've had a bit of a fallback in the 50 fib trading that I have been employing lately. But I have been going back and checking all of the numbers and actually just using a little bit different hybrids, a few tweaks and twerks here and there. And it's helped me enter less bad trades without limiting too much of the profit potential, and that is definitely going to be a positive in the future. We'll go through today's setups, but more importantly, let's just go through what we have in the majors. The Euro USD, not doing anything. We're still in this range. We've been basically confined here since the 19th of last month. So basically, the pair has been sitting and relatively nowhere land, gradually moving higher. I guess you can see we broke that range at 135.22, and the pair now is at 135.68. So we have moved 40 pips, in about 3 weeks. So that's exciting right there. The Great Britain USD, same thing. This is an interesting setup, at least though. The pair broke below this 159.80 level, which had been the top bottom of this range, and the data isn't as peachy keen as it had been in this pair. And now we're watching this trend line. If we get a break of this trend line, that will also transpire into moves in the other pairs that we like to trade in, the Great Britain Oz and the Great Britain New Zealand. And the Great Britain Oz and Great Britain New Zealand, long behold, are both sitting at significant resistance levels. You can see that the Great Britain Oz is sitting right below this 168.90 level, and we'll have to watch that. With the break, we could get some Momo in that. And in the Great Britain New Zealand, same thing. It's sitting right here. I'm sorry, those are the fibs. Well, I can't take those off, so those we will have to look at those in a bit. You can see that it's sitting right here at this 191.78 level, which is the 0.382 fib from this larger move, and it is trying to hold the pair up. Let's look at the commodity pairs. The Aussie, not doing much, gradually moving higher above 93.60, going to run up on this 0.382 at 95.09 in the very short term. And in New Zealand, doing nothing. This pair is basically dead, without a pulse. If I had become a doctor, I think I would become dead. How cheesy was that line? But this thing is doing nothing, and that is also slowing the volatility in the other New Zealand crosses that we look at in the Great Britain New Zealand. The yen, though, the yen was the highlight of this so far this week. It broke out of this triangle, broke higher, and you can see that the pair now is out of this range. And what we're going to watch is see if we can get some Momo here. Support's going to be right around here, around wherever this trend line should be. Let's say around 97.80. Below this, above this 97.80, then this thing should go up. So we'll have to look for that, and we could see that the pair push up towards the 100 level, and the 101.50 level would be next. Now the Great Britain JPY, and actually let's look at the Euro JPY because it's a very similar story. The Euro JPY broke out of the trend also that had been containing it, and you can see that this pair was in a very similar situation, and now it could have a target all the way up at the 135 level, and we'll have support down here, let's say 132.50, but more realistically this trend line around 132.05. And the Great Britain JPY, same thing. It's sitting at a trend line. So this is basically a replica of the Great Britain. It's basically following the Great Britain JPY, and that is showing basically that the yen hasn't been creating that much of an influence in the short term. What else do we have to look at? Any other pairs? Great Britain, New Zealand. Yeah, we already did that. Euro New Zealand below the 164, not really much excitement there. And the Euro odd, same thing, just kind of drifting. Now let's look at the pairs that we normally trade at and look at today's setups. And first we'll look at the yen pairs, and we can see that when I got ready to do these trades today, I ran up two fib levels, and it seems like a cluster of information here, but let's just get a better idea. You can see I ran one from the entire move from the low on Wednesday up to what at the point had been the high heading into Asian trading on Friday, and you can see that in that pair the 50 fib pullback was down at 155.84, and that was more likely the level I was really going to look for to enter any trades in this pair. But you can see that the pair continued to move higher from that point on, and let's just eliminate that cross here now. Move that cross now, and then the normal fib levels from the low and the high of the day would have been down at 156.13, and it didn't get there. What was interesting is that the 156.13 level was also the 0.382 fib of the larger range. So we there was definitely a lot of support right there at that level, which had me pretty excited if we did get that. Now heading into the new week, the trend will definitely be higher in the short term, but not by that much magnitude, and we'll have to watch this level. We'll run our fibs off that and watch that, but there is definitely a significance of big gaps heading into the new week if we get any solutions to the problems that are just the debt ceilings over the weekends, or more than likely probably just get banter back and forth. Same thing with the Euro JPY. Ran the same kind of trend lines. You can see this was the larger one to the point, and it almost coincided again where the 50 fib on the lower, the 50 fib on the or the 0.382 fib on the larger trend was at 132.29, and then if we looked at the shorter one, which just went from the high and low of the day from basically right about here to right there, was the 132. The 132.30 level was the 50 fib, so that was the area I was going to pay attention to. Now let's get rid of the bigger one, just get it interesting. You get a look at it, you can see that the pair never actually came back to that level, so there was really nothing to do there, and the trend was definitely still up. And if we look at it on heading into the new week, the momentum is pushing higher, but once again we'll have to watch for the gap, so there just wasn't a trade to be made. Let's look at the other layouts. Actually, no, just open up the wrong chart. We'll look at the Great Britain Oz and New Zealand layouts, and you will see that bam, there we go. You can see that in the Great Britain Oz, my theory was on this heading into the day is that it had just been sitting sideways, consolidating in a sideways fashion. So I didn't have any predestined, set plan. But what I was looking at, if we look on the one-day chart, is that this pair, as I said before, was sitting right at this 168.90 level, and this 168.90 level was basically a big trend level, and I did not think it was going to break through it, and I wasn't about to get slammed around with this pair because it has been so unpredictable this week. So what I was looking for at, if anything, was a push higher. I was taking the safe trade, and I was looking for the setup where we were going to get a push higher, a move back down to the 50 fib, then a springboard up, and probably looking for a push up to the 169.82. It never transpired. What we did get is we had a push up, which is, there is nothing very clear right there about that move, because normally I wait until about the 21 time, our local time, 9 o'clock, when the Tokyo markets open, to see if we have any trades or bounce backs that jump in, and we did not really have it here. So what I would need at this point, if I was looking to go in this trade, would be a move up to the 50 fib, then the bounce down, and we never even had that. And like I said, I wasn't even going to consider that because I was looking for a push higher, because we were sitting right here at the 158.90 level, and I thought we were going to bounce back above that. So even now we have not, and basically we had a great bounce off that level back down. So we might confirm that we have more room to give. The Great Britain New Zealand, on the other hand, is the same exact story. This pair was up on the fib levels. We've talked about these levels before, and basically, you know, the pair is riding the fibs from this larger move. It moved all the way down. This has the 50 fib at one point, but now it seems to keep finding support around that 91.78 level. So we can see that today opened the day right up around that level, 91.78, and what I was really anticipating was a move higher then a push down to the 50 fib, and then a bounce. We didn't get that. I mean, we did have a little bit of a move higher, but that what 192.80. We had to move up to actually, that was a pretty significant move, 192.80.40. But we just didn't get the kind of momentum that I was looking for in this pair. And this pair had theoretically, when I did the back test, 3 full blowouts this week. Totally unpredictable. And after last week, bringing on like 460 pips. So basically, I was going to be sidelined in this pair no matter what until we get a little bit of clarity in this cross. But you can see that the pair did move up, and then we never had. If anything, it probably would have signaled to go long right about here at the 192.43, 92.53, but I wasn't going to touch it with this consolidation that I've been having. And you can see that, but the only other trade that we would have had was for a push lower, then a touch up to the high, then a push back down, and that didn't occur, and we're sitting right at the significant levels right now. The Euro JPY, and I did the Great Britain, New Zealand, and Great Britain. The results still look great. They're just a little bit fuzzy so far, and they can only this month. That has to be due to the data that we're having data flow coming out. And once I get done with all the twerks and everything, I'm going to repost every single one of the charts back on the same page. I'll just decrease or increase depending on the month the actual income that the number of pips each made each month, and then I'll come up with a page that has the total amount underneath of the trades. And that is it. Everybody have a great weekend. Long-winded, but I had a lot to get out there, and I'll see everybody on Monday. Beware of big gaps heading into the beginning of the month. I mean, the beginning of the week, because of the data that we have that could occur over the weekend. All right, everybody. Talk to you soon. Have a great weekend, and I will be doing the Great Britain JPY once I finish this recording. All right, see you later.